Okay, I want to welcome everybody. Uh, my name is David Miller, and I'm here with my wife, Gudrun Miller. And welcome to our Bio-relativity training session. uh, I'm going to do a short introduction, and then we have three fine presenters. Uh, I'm going to start with the history, a brief history of bio-relativity, and a brief introduction, and then I'm going to turn it over to Tracy, Tim, and Cosman, who are going to do presentations on subjects related to biorelativity, including tools of biorelativity. And then I'm going to do a short channeling afterwards from Giuliano. So let's begin first by I'm going to read you a definition of biorelativity. And Fred, can you shut your camera off, please? Thank you. Uh, biorelativity focuses on group thoughts working together telepathically to send healing energy to our planet. The practice is similar to the concept of group prayers, in which people send positive thoughts to change the outcome of an event. And this biorelativity was originally used in the 60s and 70s by meditators in California in order to uh, prevent earthquakes. In biorelativity exercise, groups of star seeds now around the planet are sending healing thoughts to specific areas in the world. Storms, hurricanes, and even earthquakes can potentially be averted, deterred, or lessened in strength so that minimal damage is inflicted. The Arcturians point out that on higher balanced planetary systems, that is, planets besides the Earth, groups continually interact telepathically with their planets to ensure maximum harmony between the inhabitants and the planetary forces. Biorelativity then focuses on group thoughts working together, and the groups telepathically send healing energy to our planet and to the planet's feedback loop systems. Native Americans and native peoples around the earth know how to pray as a group. For example, they often do rain dances in Native American traditions, asking for rain in dry areas. So the idea is that biorelativity is not new. It has been practiced before, but now in this new era, we need to reinstitute globally planetary biorelativity exercises. In biorelativity exercises, we now have a powerful advantage which earlier peoples on the earth did not have. And that advantage is we are globally connecting, and we can globally connect with different star seeds around the world, working to unite telepathically and send telepathic thoughts to the healing of Earth. Now, we have been doing biorelativity with the group of 40 since 1996, and perhaps even earlier. It was one of the first missions and technologies that the Arcturians have sent and to us. And over the years, the program has gotten more and more defined and more sophisticated. So now at this point, for example, we have developed a biorelativity committee to oversee the biorelativity practices of the group of 40. And the biorelativity committee consists of myself, Tracy, who coordinator of the Biorelativity International Program, and Tim and Cosman. And those three will be making presentations. So the biorelativity program is one of the major programs for the Group of 40 project. And I want to conclude my short presentation by letting you know that we've also considered changing the name of biorelativity to planetary healing meditations. And I go back and forth because I really like the term biorelativity. It was a term that was used by some geologists in the 60s. I think his name was Goodman, John Goodman. But a lot of the people have a hard time understanding what it means when I say the word biorelativity. But if I say planetary healing meditations, everybody understands that. So we could call it biorelativity slash planetary healing meditations. Now we have programs that are very active. We have a very active group in South America, and they are doing biorelativity meditations in Spanish. We have activity in Europe, and Cosmin and others are leading meditations. And in fact, on a daily and weekly basis, we have numerous biorelativity meditations around the whole Earth. So it is really fantastic how this program has gained so much interest in our group of 40. And in my channeling, Juliana will be talking about how other planets besides the Earth have developed biorelativity programs and have saved their planet. So that's exciting thought. And now let me begin turning it over to Tracy. I think you're going first, correct, Tracy?
Correct.
And then
Yes.
Tracy is going to talk a little bit about the Arcturian tools for biorelativity. So Tracy is the international coordinator for biorelativity, and I turn it over to Tracy, who's in San Diego.
Thank you. Thanks, David. Hi, everybody. Good morning or good evening to you. Thank you all very much for being here today with us. Just, you know, thinking about the reason why we're all here today and wanting to thank each of you because each of us and our skills and abilities make a very big difference at this time. And this is a very sacred mission that we are part of. So welcome and thank you all for being of service to us and to the earth, I should say. Today is actually Earth Day, and perhaps no coincidence that we are gathered in this moment to understand more about biorelativity, planetary healing, and how we can bring healing to the earth. For us, we can say that every day is Earth Day, whether we pick up a piece of trash left on the ground, whether we participate in one of our group meditations, go for a walk outside and express our love and gratitude to the earth, or just smiling at a stranger and raising their vibration. Any form of love, whether for yourself, for another, or for the earth, helps her essentially. So we decided to do this Back to Basics training webinar as a refresher course and a learning opportunity for all of us, and to especially remind us of the great importance and need for biorelativity at this time of planetary crisis. The main ingredients that are needed for us as planetary healers is our presence, our love and open heart, focus, higher thoughts and good intentions, and of course, a really expanded imagination. That really helps a lot in our meditations. So today, as David said, I will be speaking on some of the Arcturian tools we use in our meditations. We do have a lot, so I'm only going to get through a few, with a focus on the Ring of Ascension, the Corridors of Light, the Etheric Crystals, the Ladders of Ascension, and the Sacred Triangle. If everyone who's just joining can please just turn their cameras off, please. So we have several words in our meditations that were not familiar to me when I first began participating in them. Words and tools such as noosphere, the Ring of Ascension, a corridor of light, the Escalia mirror, or even just the concept of bilocating felt like another language at first. But somehow my imagination, and I'm sure you can all attest to this as well, was reawakened and activated. And although I did not quite understand just yet, I had more of a sense of an inner standing of and a resonance within my soul that this was the right place to be, and I was on the right path. What also helped me then was to read the glossary actually in David's books, and to read the glossary on the website, just if I didn't understand what something was. Um, so let's recap for a moment some of what we focus on in our meditations to bring healing to the earth and to all life on earth. We work with the collective thought field of the earth that we call the noosphere to download positive thoughts, affirmations, and requests into the earth. The noosphere contains all thoughts and beliefs since the beginning of time, whether subconscious, unconscious, and conscious. And our work with the noosphere helps to expand the consciousness of humanity and the planet, and to bring a new energy of healing, balance, and harmony to the planet on all levels. We focus on the purification of the waters and of the oceans, of neutralizing chemicals, toxins, and electromagnetic frequencies in the air that are not for the highest good of the earth, humanity, and the biosphere. To take a breath after that, we do some very important work. With the assistance of the Arcturians, we are able to thought project and take the aura of a planetary city of light, of a region, or of the entire planet through a corridor of light and to the Arcturian crystal lake, or to the Gaia healing chamber on the Arcturian starship Athena for transformation, purification, and for upliftment. This is all in essence to help the evolution of humanity and the planet towards ascension. Raising the spiritual light quotient of one or all countries, peoples, and leaders is one of many very important focuses in our meditations. By doing so, we are bringing down fifth dimensional energy and light that consists of qualities such as balance, a higher awareness and consciousness, stability, unity consciousness, harmony, love, and compassion, and much more. We also, on a personal level, bring this light and energy back into our energy fields when we return from our meditations. We learn a lot about biorelativity from the native and indigenous peoples and their sacred rituals with Mother Earth. These rituals teach us to honor and respect Gaia as a sacred, sentient, all-loving being, and to not just take, but to always give something back. The native peoples with their teachings are at the base of the sacred triangle, representing their deep-rooted connection with the earth and an equally important side of the sacred triangle paradigm. In today's times, this is taken for granted, and the earth has and is responding to us with earthquakes, droughts, hurricanes, flooding, etc., not to take into account the mental and emotional imbalances of humanity and the effect this has on the earth. It is a big reminder that we are all connected and that we are one with the earth. The fact that we are dependent on the earth for our survival seems to have been forgotten or lost. So our work means so much more as we work with the spirit of the earth, with Gaia and the collective thought field of the earth. Our meditations usually start with the directions to either allow your spirit body to rise up out of your physical body through your crown chakra and to enter a corridor of light, or we are asked to bilocate or thought project ourselves to the ring of ascension, for example. Bilocating is exactly that, using the powers of your thought to either mentally or spiritually be etherically present on another dimension, while your physical body stays where it is. Where you think you want to go, you go. It is again another example of the importance of our higher thoughts, focus, imagination, and intention, as well as our awareness and accepting that we are multidimensional beings. Now, entering a corridor of light is a very healing and nourishing experience in itself. A corridor of light is a fifth dimensional corridor that connects to your home on Earth. It is a means for us to travel in astral form to the higher dimensions in a safe and protected way. We enter the corridor of light, leaving our physical bodies behind us that carry the density of the third dimension. And as Giuliano has described this as taking off your coat, you immediately feel a warmth and a sense of protection, and you feel a deep resonance with the higher spiritual energies already. This is a very important part of our planetary and personal healing meditations, and they're also a means that we use to return to our physical bodies at the completion of our meditation or exercise. Many of our meditations take place on the starship Athena on the fifth dimension, in the Gaia Planetary Healing Chamber. This is a special room that the Arcturians have set up for us, where there is a direct connection to the energy field of the Earth. They graciously allow us permission to enter this high energy space and work together with us in our meditations. It feels like a beautiful collaboration of love when we gather here. The planetary healers from above, united with planetary healers from below. There is a holographic image of the Earth in the center of the room that Giuliano tells us can be compared to a 5-story building. Here, the planetary healers, Arcturian students, guides, and teachers are always at work and meditating to bring healing to the planet and love when we join them. We also biolocate to and meditate in a halo of golden fifth dimensional light that surrounds the Earth, known as the Ring of Ascension. The Ring of Ascension is connected with the fifth dimension and has the ability to expand and duplicate to form many rings of ascension that we use in our meditations to place over countries or areas to help raise their spiritual light quotient. This is where the importance, once again, of imagery and visualization comes in. When you think and imagine the Ring of Ascension forming a mini halo of light around North America, for example, envision it, really see it, as it helps also to activate the powers of this energy, this powerful high spiritual energy around us. And even after we are finished meditating, continue to envision this light around us and over us. When we are working to raise the spiritual light quotient of the leaders, for example, we will place a dome of light over the country and envision this fifth dimensional light permeating the energy field of the country we are working with. It's really very beautiful when you focus on seeing this golden light around and above the country or area, a planetary city of light or a planetary ocean reserve of light, and envisioning, again asking for it to transmute all lower vibrational energies and to raise the vibration to a higher frequency. Remember your personal skills and abilities during our meditations. Whatever good you want for your country or area or for the planet, request these in our meditations. Next, we have the ladders of ascension and the etheric crystals that we use. We have 8 ladders of ascension and 12 etheric crystals on the planet. They all have a connection with the fifth dimension and are holding higher spiritual light and energies of the higher realms. The etheric crystals have been downloaded into power spots on the Earth since, I believe, 2002, and they are also connected to the inner Earth. They bring healing to the meridians of the Earth, and each represents a different energy for planetary healing. And I forgot to be presenter here to show this. David, you think you can make me presenter, please? Or I can show it afterwards if you. Okay. Well, I have some just
I'm
to
putting
show
in
you.
the chat. I'm putting the link in the chat.
Okay, good. Okay, good.
Yes.
So I can click on it then? No, no one will be able to see it.
No, everybody can click on it on their own.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Tracy, I just made you the presenter. It takes a while.
Yes, I'm seeing that now. Okay, thank you. Okay, so now I do pop out, right, Cosmin? Sorry, everyone. I'm just still, okay, there we go. Okay, let's see. We don't want that. Okay, so if you just go to the website, I just want to show everyone here the spiritual tools. If you click on Group of 40 spiritual tools, you see everything that we have here. So if you click on continue reading for the etheric crystals, and it shows the list of the 12. We have a crystal in Mount Fuji, Japan, Lake Constance in Bodensee, Germany, Lake Moraine, Canada, Mount Shasta, California, Volcan Poaz, Costa Rica, Montserrat, Spain, Gross Valley in Australia, Lake Taupo in New Zealand, Copper Canyon, Mexico, Lago Puelo, Argentina. We have one in Istanbul and one in Serra de Bocaina in Brazil. And here are images. We have just beautiful, beautiful information on the website for all of you to see. So everything is on here, and it also gives a map and information regarding the crystals. Okay, how do I get back here? There we go. Okay, all right. Remember that as multidimensional beings with telepathic skills, if you are in California and feel a deep connection, I might have just missed a page. No, I didn't. And if you have a deep connection to the crystal in Gross Valley, Australia, and to White Buffalo Calf Woman, you can thought project yourself there. You can connect with the energy over there. You don't need to be directly there. This is the beauty of our work, and shows that there's no limits in what we can do with our minds. We can work with one etheric crystal individually, or we can work in a triangle, a triad of etheric crystals, or with the entire planetary tree of life, depending on the focus and the intention of our meditation. Then we have our ladders of ascension that extend deep into the earth, bringing healing fifth dimensional energies into the core of the earth and spreading this planetary healing light throughout all of the grids and electromagnetic fields of the planet into the sacred spots and acupuncture points on the planet. The ladders of ascension are known as the gateway to the fifth dimension. And at the time of ascension, we can thought project ourselves to the ladder of ascension that resonates with you. There is no need, again, to be physically close to one. And again, an example of and reason why your thoughts and the strength of your thoughts and intention is so important. We have beautiful exercises to practice for this that you may have already participated in, that reminds us that we can always thought project ourselves there to feel a closeness to the fifth dimension. And once again, here on the website, Cosmin, can you guys see this?
No.
No, okay,
David
so I
has to
need
make
to.
you presenter again.
No, oh, okay, sorry. Okay, thank you. Okay, let's see. Now we can?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so now if we just go back to spiritual tools, once again, we'll see here the ladders of ascension. We'll see that we have 8 ladders of ascension, the Dome of the Rock in Jerusalem, Israel, San Martin de los Andes in Argentina, and Mount Fuji, Japan, Bell Rock, Sedona, Jobs Point in Nevada, California, the United States actually, Tomari Head in Australia, San Pere de Ribes in Spain, and Herisau in Switzerland. And again, some beautiful images for your visualization during our meditations, or even during your meditations, I can say. Okay. And then we have our beautiful image of the sacred triangle, which I'm going to actually show you here, everyone. Can you all see that? Cosmin, is that clear on your screen? Does it come through?
Yes.
Okay, thank
Yes.
you. Okay, so we have our sacred triangle here. So many of you, I'm sure, are very familiar with the sacred triangle, with this symbol. It represents the unification of the three powerful spiritual forces on Earth. On the left, as you see, we have Sananda representing the White Brotherhood Sisterhood. On the right, we have a beautiful doorway and entry into galactic spirituality, into the galactic dimensions, to the higher realms. This connects us with the extraterrestrial or galactic ascended masters, such as the Arcturians and the Palladians. And below, as I mentioned before, we have the native peoples, the Native Americans aspect here with the peace pipe, represented by Chief White Eagle, for example, or White Buffalo Calf Woman, or Spirit Fire. So we, in our meditations, we connect with, let me just come back. There we go. We connect with all of these energies in our personal and planetary healing work. This paradigm is being one of unification, reconciliation, and honoring all of these spiritual powers of our planet. And that is it from me for today. I will hand it over to Tim. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, Tracy. I would like to start by saying that we're going to talk about our meditations, and we're going to talk about it as the tool we use in our personal growth, in our healing of the earth, and actually protection for ourselves and others on the earth. And the primary reason we use meditations is that it presents us with a space that releases us from the third dimensional linear limitations, that we can experience and we can experience the reasons why we are here on earth at this time. Now, I'm sure all of you, before you joined the group of 40, you probably use meditation as a personal tool for possibly stress control, third dimensional problem solving, and receiving possibly intuitive answers to problems and personal inquiries. As you continued to use this tool on a personal basis, it also awakened you to a higher calling, a calling of galactic service, a calling to who you truly are. Now, it may have exposed you to a lot of different spiritual paths like shamanism, druidism, Wicca, the Golden Dawn, and possibly the path of Masonry. But you all have awakened, and you all are here for continued personal growth as the galactic participant and being that you are. So, using the tool of meditation in the GOF, we are able to connect with and channel the higher spiritual and healing frequencies and energies of the fifth dimension. We are an open corridor in our meditations. We use it as a tool for self-development, influencing our environment, resisting and removing negativity, polarity, and the chaos of current times. Meditation allows us to create sacred space for completing and enhancing our focus, for healing a particular object, being, instance, and working on global goals, and to help modify current events. It specifically allows us to channel and direct high spiritual energy from the fifth dimension to Mother Earth. And it helps us understand, develop, adapt, and enhance our thought power so that we can continue this work. It is a tool that is used to develop, enhance, and create change through directed thought. It provides an unrestricted space where we can focus our work intuitively and creatively. Another point is that it provides us the time and space where we can fine-tune our I am presence. Now, our meditations give us the opportunity to enhance and train for our ascension as well.
Dim your volume.
You have your microphone issue again, Tim.
Cosmin, he doesn't know the microphone's not working.
Tim
Yeah,
can
he
hear
does.
us.
Can you hear it? Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So, let me back up a point or two. Our meditations give us the opportunity to enhance and train for our ascension. And they give us the ability to interact, communicate, and receive guidance from our guides, teachers, and the Ascended Masters. And personally, it provides us with the ability to travel galactically, universally, and to return to our original home planets. Now, that's what it does for us personally. But we're not alone. We're not alone in the group of 40. We work with and interact with the Arcturians, the Palladians, the Syrians, native Ascended Masters, and many other galactic beings. Because the tool of meditation is powerful. It's unrestricted and truly open as a communication and travel pathway. And the Arcturians, the Ascended Masters, use this techniques as a tool to train us. They provide us with and train us in using all of the Arcturian spiritual planetary tools as an Arcturian starseed. They support our personal goals, and I mentioned in the beginning, they assist us in our soul work, our spiritual contract, and they have to be here on Earth. Now, some of the points are that they use meditation to help us utilize our power of thought and visualizations for travel throughout the galaxy. That is, we travel to the starship Athena. We travel and exist in the ring of ascension, the central sun, and Tomar's crystal temple. They also use meditation to help us reach an even higher state in personal growth and healing. As an example, using the Star of David as a tool of protection, personal awareness of our interdimensional self by connecting with your interdimensional self on the fifth dimension, and traveling to Helio Oz personal healing chambers. Also in meditation, they work with us and help and guide us in balancing the biosphere. Many times we work in balancing the weather. We work in our meditations in balancing the tectonic plates, the volcanoes, removing toxicities from the oceans and land masses, to promote peace and protection locally and globally. Now, the Arcturians also help us to prepare for a personal ascension into the fifth dimension and higher realms. They teach us through meditation about shimmering, raising our spiritual light quotient around our aura to a higher and the highest vibration that we can achieve. They work with us in chakra adjustment for the cleansing, for the protection of our chakras, helping us be open and cleansed for our ascension when the time comes. They work with aligning our aura, and they work with us in cleansing and healing our four body system that we have in our physical being, in this physical uniform. That is the body that is spiritual, the body that is mental, the body that is emotional, and the body that is physical. They help us heal and cleanse all four. The Arcturians also help us through meditation to prepare the planet for ascending into the planetary stage 2 in the fifth dimension. And they use meditation to show us that we are bio-dimensional beings of electromagnetic light, and how to bring and how to channel through our openness and resonance with the spiritual light and energy from the fifth dimension to Mother Earth. Our Ascended Masters and friends and Arcturians use meditations to teach us how to bilocate to multiple locations and use our energy to channel energies that can manifest an outcome. They use and teach us the meditation tool to have us experience multi-dimensional existence at a singular moment in linear third dimensional time. Most importantly, they use meditation as a very important tool to support, expand, provide opportunities for your personal growth and being here in the third dimension. They use it to help protect and heal you and Mother Earth. Now, the last thing I wish to cover is that meditations present an environment of unity. The power of unified thought is truly amazing. It creates change and modification of events, situations, and outcomes. It allows us to come together to achieve balance and change and use our unified power of arcane thought energy. Meditation becomes a tool that we effectively use to evoke change, to intercede for modification in ourselves, the biosphere, and the planet. And we have seen this when working with weather, the tectonic plates, and other catastrophes on the Earth. We have impact through the power of our thought in meditations. It also provides a gateway for us to access the fifth dimension, the ring of ascension, the ladders of ascension, and an area that we can be part of the unity of ascended masters, guides, and teachers. It is a tool that prepares us for what is to come. It helps us maintain an openness and acceptance to and for change, and the ability to use unified power of intent and thought to intercede, to adjust and modify change. So, in summary, the Group of 40 meditation allows and promotes our unity as spiritual beings serving others, ourselves, and the planet. It allows and promotes our camaraderie as a family and as ascended beings. GOF meditations help us complete our soul mission here on Earth. Our meditations help us remember that we are galactic beings and active participants in the galactic agenda to heal, protect, and promote the evolution of planet Earth, ourselves, and humanity. It helps us remember that we are servants of the light Hashem. These are exciting times and challenging times with great opportunities for personal growth and our ascension, personally and planetarily. So as you participate in these meditations, you learn and acquire the tools to work individually on your healing, balance, and ascension. That is one of the major goals of our meditations and Arcturian training. You learn the power of unity, of arcane thought abilities, and resonance with the fifth dimension. You learn to be a great and powerfully spiritual leader. Kadosh, 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 Adonai, Sebaot. Tracy.
Thank you, Tim.
Thank you, Tim. It was beautiful. Thank you. Cosmin, thank you.
Okay, and then take over. Okay, thanks, David. Thanks, Tracy. Thanks, Tim. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Welcome also from me to this webinar. And today I'm going to speak about three things: becoming a more conscious and aware planetary healer, how to strengthen, or how the concept of arcane power is related to the empowerment of all our members and participants in the meditations, and how to deal with the resistance we might face in stepping into our true personal power and creational power in our biorelativity work. Let's start with becoming a more conscious and aware planetary healer. I wanted to address the subject because it is related to being present to what is happening around us at many levels of experience, and how this is all interconnected at all levels of our human experience, and how this can be integrated in our personal, individual, but also planetary healing and biorelativity work. What is in the now moment is connected with everything that happens within ourselves, on our planet, in our solar system, in our galaxy, in the universe. This is the level of holographic connection that we want to take into consideration. The reality, in all its forms at all levels, is a continuous dynamic result of creational decisions and cycles, and this principle governs holographically all that is, from the microcosmos to the macrocosmos. Cosmic events, for instance, are influencing our solar system, our sun, our planet, ourselves, and the biosphere. Natural cycles and their events are also playing an important role on our planet and have a great influence on ourselves as individuals and as a collective, and also on the planetary spheres. There are, of course, also evolutionary and energetical impulses from the central sun, the spiritual center of our galaxy, and other spiritual sources who participate in this dynamic and ever-evolving process. The whole creation and universe is in a continuous expansion. There is not a moment where something does not occur or align or flow or is transformed. So in this dynamic process of interconnectedness and growth, alignment through energy flow and exchange and impulses, there is always a potential that is present behind these events and processes, behind evolutionary milestones and energetic impulses that we can tap into. Astrology, for instance, and other similar teachings represent examples that are covering this at a certain level, that we can reach out in many ways. What I want to focus on today related to this is first the awareness and alignment to this process in a very focused and present way, but also more important, I think, is that of us opening, connecting and receiving, and then using and integrating this potential in our personal and planetary healing efforts. For me, being a more aware planetary healer means finding practical ways to be more present to what is happening, what openings are there, and what potentials, energy potentials are arising or being present to us in the moment. That implies for us to be even more sensible and receptive, a receptacle for all this, learning to tap in, learning to grasp, learning to encompass, to perceive, to deeply understand what is happening at all levels in our region of the planet, in our country, and our continent, and on the whole planet as a result of our collective creational process. But also, of course, of that of the intrinsic planetary and cosmical creational cycles and processes. When we enable ourselves to have this deeper and higher perception, we can more deeply understand and have a higher perspective and understanding what we can do, how we can intervene in a higher way for the highest good through our planetary healing work. Also connecting with the potential that is available, that we recognize that is there, and we can grasp and receive, gives us a greater energy to address issues, to counter disharmony and imbalances, and to bring more balance, harmony in the energy flow and exchange of the planet. There are so many examples where we can look deeper and to be a more aware receiver. Equinoxes, solstices, moon cycles, solar cycles, natural cycles in the planetary spheres, cosmic cycles of the galaxy, of our planetary system, the alignments with the star systems and constellations. There is support and help from higher sources in certain contexts of time and space, like from the Arcturians, Pleiadians, and so on. All these greater cosmic cycles and alignments are there. Everything is connected from the micro levels to the macro levels of creation. This is a fact that we can be more present to. We can reach a greater understanding, and we use it wisely in our personal and planetary healing work. Giuliano has mentioned it so many times. We have to become more receptive, like a vessel, more aware, more sensitive to what is at all these levels. Yes, it can be sometimes overwhelming, especially when we connect what's going on our planet, but only because maybe we didn't have yet mastered it enough. But in general, this is a powerful way of empowering us more and more into the Omega human. The Omega human is an aware human being, connected human being, in all that is, a being that understands and grasps all connections and forces that participate in the creation in the now moment. This Omega man and woman is deeply aligned to the life force energy of the planet, participates consciously in the creational process. I feel that developing this greater awareness and receptivity is an important milestone towards the Omega human. So I invite you all to become more aware and present planetary healers with our sensitivities, our own unique abilities, our own openings to receive, to grasp, to understand what is around us. And I believe this will make us more powerfully planetary healers together. Okay, moving on to the next theme. I want to address this theme of arcane power and how this is related to the empowerment of all our participants in the meditations. Because I have a strong conviction, feeling that these times are the times of the many who unite and work together, not of the few light bearers and few shoulders who carry all the responsibility on their own shoulders, as it maybe was in the past with all the wonderful masters that worked the earth. Interventions with higher consciousness and higher beings are made or planned correspondently to how the context of experience has developed. The earth has developed. The context of experience now on planet Earth is not anymore the same as it was 100,000 years ago, 10,000, 5,000 years ago, 2,000 years ago, or even maybe 10 years before. It's something different because the changes accelerated. We are in accelerated time of the cosmic evolutionary cycles, and this includes our planet, our Mother Earth, and humanity. Giuliano said it so many times, on this planet right now, there are so many starseeds and light workers like never before. This has a purpose. This implies also a change how um, a higher intervention is made through beings like ourselves with higher consciousness, with beings that give evolutionary impulses to the collective and our planet in general. So I feel it is time of the many shoulders to bear equally responsibility, and is naturally equally important to unite, to work together, to bring the uniqueness and the diversity into an harmonious and honoring, embracing unity. And of course, this principle is equally valid in our planetary healing biorelativity work. So the questions that arise from this assessment are: how can we integrate the individual potential of everybody participating in better and better in our collective planetary healing work? How can we empower everybody individually in order for them to bring in their highest creational personal power within our projects and work? How can we open that space of individual unique expression and manifestation of oneself that is there to become an harmonious and balanced, actively participating part in the collective whole? So in every one of us, there is something unique and wonderful that is of equal importance to the whole. We have to put ourselves these questions and find together the answers. And these questions relate to so many aspects of our planetary healing work and biorelativity. For instance, how about the themes or the structure of our meditations? The great in how we integrate every individual, every participant in the meditation at the different levels of the meditation, or in the common intention and creational exercise that we do. How we express our common creational intentions, how we raise our individual and collective focus. What tools are we using and why and when exactly? And so on and so on. It is clear a greater arcane power can be achieved if every individual can tap in and integrate its own potential in the collective effort. And there is a greater arcane power if we bring this diversity in a cohesive way, united in the whole. Remember, we came together on this planet, in this group, not by accident. There is something that connects us. There is something that resonates within us, with everybody. We have an affinity. We have a resonant creational energy field that we create because of who we are in our totality. So let's see some examples that I propose just as an example here in the presentation, and how can we bring more of our participants into our work. So let's look, for instance, at the themes. Not only the moderators or team leaders can propose themes, but everybody can propose themes and come with a team proposal for our work, because everybody has its own receptivity, its own guidance, its own inspiration and understanding. So that's one. Then we can experience, for instance, with mixed themes in one meditation, or have a series of meditations, and there can be more than one presenters in a series of meditations that are related to each other. We can have a certain structured approach of the meditation with a steady development. Let's say we have a masculine approach in structuring our meditations and achieving a focus through structure. But we can have also a more feminine, receptive approach of finding the themes with no structure at all. For instance, being receptive to what is in the moment very spontaneously. So we can find some kind of balance between these ways to work together to bring our inspiration and guidance in our collective work. Okay, let's see examples related to structure and forms of the meditation. Now we have found a good structure, I believe, in our working in our meditations. For instance, when we at the beginning start with an uplifting part, personal uplifting part of empowering ourselves and coming into our creational personal power, then connecting with higher sources of light before starting to really work on the themes with our common intentions. But here we can experience with greater diversity in a way of empowering ourselves to trying something new, a new way, a mixed way of doing this, in most important ways that can empower all the participants. Example, we can use different ways of strengthening the focus, like chanting, mantras, affirmations, visualizations, and allowing also a space for everybody to empower themselves as they uniquely do, specifically for them. Meaning we find the best formula together in the context of empowering and uplifting all participants. Let's see examples how we can integrate more the individual potential in holding the focus of the meditation. We can open the space for each individual, for instance, who authentically wants to express itself in the unique way towards the strengthening of our common focus and intention, like own mantras, own chanting, own affirmations, a blessing, a small prayer, like a short, focused, light language transmission, and so many other ways and examples. Individuals can use specific ascension codes that are empowering, and so on and so on. We can create focused groups of our participants in the meditations. Groups, for instance, one group can focus on holding a certain energy flow. Another group can focus, for instance, in sending a specific energy, on holding the space for something to happen, and so on and so on. Another group can use crystals in a way, one way or another, and so on and so on. So we can find and experience with different way in bringing our own potential into the meditations. There are also so many forms of meditation, and we should allow ourselves to experience, to work with different ways, and to find the ways how we can achieve a greater focus in arcane power and bringing everybody's potential in. Okay, so let's go to the last theme of my presentation. It's about personal resistance, because personal resistance is related, of course, with our personal potential and arcane power. The goal is here to counter all the limitative patterns that we still hold within ourselves. Let's look at some affirmations, limiting affirmations and beliefs that we might still hold within ourselves. Like, for example, I have failed before to save people and the planet. I will surely fail again. I am not good enough for this. Or who am I to heal the planet? I am guilty of creating destruction or death before on other planets. How could I ever do this right again? Or I am ashamed of what I am. I am different and strange. Or I am small and weak. How could I ever change something on a planet? And so on and so on. Or I'm not responsible for healing the damage that others did. So these are convictions and limiting beliefs that we might still hold on ourselves, that do not allow our potential to rise up. All of these limiting thoughts and beliefs about ourselves should disappear, should be dissolved from our beingness, transformed with love, acceptance, honoring, acknowledging, forgiveness, understanding, embracing ourselves. The affirmations or the convictions that we hold within should be the following: I am capable, I am powerful, and I have a unique potential. All steps forward are good steps, even the very small ones. I assume my creational responsibility. I learn and I grow from all experiences. There is no failure or disappointment. There is only experiencing, learning, growing, and mastering. I am a unique being with unique and wonderful abilities and features. I am equally important and an equal part of the collective whole. I embrace now my personal creational power and responsibility here on earth. I am a creational divine being having this third dimensional experience on earth, and so on and so on. It is of course equally important to remove all this inner resistance and density in ourselves, so that we are able to grasp into our full potential and expand in our love, in our potential, in our expression, who we really are. The more empowered and authentic we are in our individual uniqueness, diversity, and personal potential, the more we can be present in service to the group of 40 fellow members and in our common planetary healing projects and goals. Thank you for everybody for being your unique, wonderful potential. Thank you for being here. And I call on everybody, brothers and sisters, to rise up to your potential, to participate with all that you have, and dissolve all the resistance that you may still hold in yourself. Thank you. Many blessings to all.
Thank you, Cosmin. Thank you
Back
all.
to you, David.
Shalom, shalom, Shalom. Greetings, I am Giuliano. We are the Arcturians. One important idea stands out in working with planetary healing meditations and doing effective biorelativity exercises. That idea is the understanding of the Earth's feedback loop system. Essentially, the Earth's feedback loop system has been able to maintain the correct percentage of oxygen, nitrogen, and many other chemicals to keep this planet in a balance over the many thousands of years, even a million years, when the human Homo sapien appeared on this planet. Now the planet is in a crisis that is called the sixth mass extinction. The Industrial Revolution and the technology that has followed that revolution has led to a burdening on the Earth's feedback loop system. This means that the Earth's feedback loop system is having great difficulty maintaining a balance that is necessary for the survival of humanity and the survival of the thousands and millions of species that live in the biosphere. We like the idea of using the word biorelativity because it relates to the biosphere. It relates to the fact that the Earth is a living spiritual energy being, a planet. The Earth has certain characteristics that make it a living spiritual being. And the primary characteristic is the feedback loop system, is the ability of the Earth to maintain a certain homeostasis that allows the biosphere to thrive. But now this homeostasis is threatened. Now the Earth's feedback loop system is having difficulty maintaining the balances that are necessary. And you and I are both seeing major planetary changes. And I know that there are debates about whether or not this is man-made. And I know that there are people who think this is a normal process. But it isn't. Because if things continue in this direction, the Earth's feedback loop system will not be able to keep up. By keeping up, I mean it will not be able to maintain this balance, this homeostasis that you and all peoples on the planet need for survival. Think already about what you have experienced even in the past 3 months regarding storms and hurricanes and earthquakes and other major events. Think about how unbalanced the governments are and how unbalanced the military conflicts have become. Now, I have traveled with the Arcturian starship around this galaxy, and I have interacted with several other planets who are in this stage of planetary development, which is at the end of planetary stage 1, the conflict of spirituality versus technology. And the solution to the imbalance is the spiritual solution. And biorelativity is a spiritual exercise because you are interacting spiritually, telepathically with the earth. You are using your spiritual power, which is increased by the concept of arcane energy. You are using your spiritual arcane power to communicate directly with the earth and to try to influence the earth's feedback loop system so that it can moderate and not create as much damage. This can be exemplified, for example, if a storm is coming and say the storm is 150 miles an hour or 200 kilometers an hour, and you can use your communication abilities to the Earth's feedback loop system to request a lessening, a moderation of the power of the storm. Say you bring it back down to 70 or 80 miles an hour. We are not saying that the Earth should not respond, because the Earth is responding. It's just that the Earth's response may not be to the highest benefit of you and I or on the planet. So you need to communicate. And you are part of the Earth's feedback loop system because all living beings are part of the Earth and part of the communication system. And the Earth uses you. You as Homo sapiens, and as you're evolving to Homo omega, have the ability to directly interact with the spirit of the Earth, especially through the Earth's feedback loop system. Now, all of the tools that we are using, such as the Ring of Ascension, such as the 12 etheric crystals, such as the ladders of ascension, these tools serve the purpose of increasing, of amplifying your arcane power. That is, you are increasing your thought power. Now, this is an important idea as a planetary healer. That is, that your mind, your thoughts directed to the earth, directed to the feedback loop system, can, with an proper power of thought, influence the earth. And the stronger the power of thought, the stronger the arcane thought energy, the more effective you as a planetary healer, you as a practitioner of biorelativity can be, using the power of an etheric crystal to amplify your thoughts. Amplification of thoughts is necessary. Now, part of biorelativity is understanding the noosphere. The noosphere is part of the biosphere. And the noosphere is the collective thought energies of the whole planet. Sometimes we refer to it even as the collective unconscious. All manifestations have to go through the noosphere on this Earth. If, as a planetary healer and a biorelativity practitioner, you can access with great arcane power the noosphere through images, through meditations, through prayers, through biorelativity exercises, then you will have a key ability to influence what is going to be manifested on the earth. Now, there is a great deal of discussion continually about end times, that there's going to be a great war, that there's going to be great upheaval, and people ask me frequently, is there going to be a chaotic event next month or on May 1st? Is there going to be a big destructive event? Are we going to lose all of the internet? Are we going to receive a solar flares that are going to wipe out all our telecommunication systems and we're all going to go into chaos? And my answer is this: let's not participate in sending those thoughts into the noosphere. Let's work with higher evolved thoughts that we can positively influence the feedback loop system to create a balance. And that's how the noosphere works. But basically, through negative imagery, through television, through fear, through social media, through many of these other methods, which are very powerful, there is continually being downloaded negative outcomes into the Earth's noosphere, and the Earth receives those. That's why we are teaching biorelativity, and that's why we say that the planets that we have visited that have survived this crisis have embraced biorelativity, planetary healing meditations, sending balancing thoughts to their planet's feedback loop system in order to bring in a new harmony. Now, we cannot talk about biorelativity without mentioning the evolution, the spiritual evolution of humanity, going to the next phase, which is Homo Omega. And the idea is simple. The Earth is in a crisis. The species is in a crisis. Species in crisis only survive when they make changes. And changes only occur when there is a new characteristic, a new ability that is added to the species. And for example, the Cro-Magnon and the Neanderthal lived side by side. The Neanderthal was physically stronger than Cro-Magnon, but Cro-Magnon had a better brain, was able to use fire, and was able to develop better methods of keeping warm. Cro-Magnon survived, Neanderthal died out. And that the ability then of understanding the use of fire required a mental upload, a mental expansion. Now, when I look at the Earth situation and when I look and compare it to other planets, I can say without a doubt that in order to interact with the Earth, evolve, work spiritually, there must be a spiritual awakening among humanity. Humanity must understand that this is a living planet. This is not a new idea. This is something the native peoples have known for centuries. And this is why we embrace the native people and their work, because they are experts on talking to the Mother Earth. They are experts on understanding the cycles of nature. They are experts in biorelativity. And this includes many native peoples around the world. And this is partially why we embrace and teach about the sacred triangle, and why we have embraced the native peoples, because they have this ability. Now, it is true that some of the ancient religions, even the ancient Christian and Judaic religions, also were using biorelativity, but their use of biorelativity has been hidden and has been darkened by the concept of paganism and the idea that paganism involves interacting with spirits, which then was viewed as idol worship or idolatry. But on another level, the ancient peoples, and we're talking about the ancient Middle East, for example, where many of you have evolved from, we're interacting with the spirits. We're interacting with the planetary feedback loop system, and we're using planetary healing techniques. We are in a new era. We are in a time of crisis, but we are in a time of evolutionary shift. And the biorelativity allows a few people like yourselves who have a higher strong method, commitment, and arcane power. You allow a few people like yourselves to shift and change the outcome of this planetary crisis towards a new harmony and balance that can save the biosphere. And this is your mission. And this is why you are empowered to come to planet Earth and to do this work. I send you my love and blessings from my beautiful starship Athena. I am Giuliano. Good day.